everyone.
Hey there guys, Unofficial MCU here, hope you're all doing well, and in this video we're finally taking a break from Secret Invasion or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, although go check those videos out, they're here on the channel now. Instead, in this video we're going to be discussing The Punisher and how he's now rumored to get his very own Disney Plus show. Now of course this is something that's kind of a given, especially if he were and is to appear in the brand new Daredevil Born Again Disney Plus series. That is something that's going to begin filming very soon, and John Berthel himself has recently discussed and teased even at that he could appear in that show there as well, posting some images to Instagram. That's something that we recently also had discussed here on the channel as well, into the kind of the overall regards of having John Berthel's Punisher making his way into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU. We're going to go ahead and dive right on into it. Before we do, grab the subscribe button and join us here today. Of course, we're talking about and discussing all types of Marvel related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns, so if you guys are into any of that, hit the subscribe button and that notification bell and join us here today. Anyway, in this video we're going to be taking a read from the Direct's article. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well. As I read, now several scoopers have claimed that John Berthel's Punisher will receive his very own Disney Plus spin-off after his return in Daredevil Born Again. After appearing in Daredevil to begin with on Netflix and leading 2 seasons of his very own spin-off series, that there being The Punisher on Netflix, John Berthel is finally returning as the notorious Punisher under Marvel Studios and in the MCU in next year's Daredevil Born Again. Of course, this is very likely. It's something that's not necessarily confirmed by Marvel Studios themselves, but with Comic-Con around the corner taking place over the summer, anything could be announced. Also into the fact, as I had mentioned, this is something that's been teased at even by John Berthel himself, posting images and pictures of Punisher on his various social media accounts, specifically with Instagram, kind of teasing at the idea that, hey, I'm back at it, and he's going to be in the Daredevil Born Again. This is something, as I had mentioned, we had also discussed recently here on the channel. The series is expected to serve as a soft Disney Plus reboot to a point to Netflix's Daredevil, as it brings back Charlie Cox's Matt Murdock and Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin for a fresh go-around with these characters in a quote-unquote very different direction. The article does use the term of what a soft reboot really could be. This is essentially just kind of changing around the overall narrative and then some of those character motivations and overall motives as well. Now, as the article reads, Scooper My Time to Shine Hello had recently stated in a recent tweet over on Twitter that Charlie Cox's Daredevil won't be the only one to get his very own Disney Plus treatment, with John Berthel's Punisher now also rumored to receive his own rebooted series, well, a soft reboot that would be for the MCU following his appearance in the Daredevil Born Again series coming out next year. Having previously appeared in Netflix, John Berthel's Frank Castle is set to return in the MCU soon for a quote-unquote major role in next year's Daredevil Born Again. This wouldn't be the first time the Punisher got his own series after a major role in a Daredevil project. We saw the exact same thing happen with the Netflix series and with the Defenders. Streamers Katie and Reed recently similarly stated a Punisher Disney Plus series is in development. He also claimed one is in the works for a mystical superhero, White Tiger, who has been rumored to join the MCU in Daredevil Born Again as well. This here all being said, let's go ahead and answer and discuss here a little bit about the question that everybody is asking. Is Punisher still going to be dark and violent coming to the MCU? Many voiced concerns about Born Again, particularly referring to the fear of it being Disney-fied, essentially, and becoming too lighthearted compared to the dark and gritty story in Netflix's Daredevil. And undoubtedly, those same fears are going to be felt by fans for a character as dark, violent, and mature as Punisher. I think that honestly we are in safe hands, especially with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine and Deadpool coming to the MCU recently here in Deadpool 3 here. Those are characters that have to keep a much darker tone and theme. The article continues by saying that, while John Berthel's return itself offers some hope on that front, as going as far as back as October of 2021. The actor, John Berthel, was clear he would only want to return to it as if it was going to be dark and gritty enough to give the fans what they deserve and what they want, saying that, end quote, it's just about if they do it, are we going to be able to do it right? Is it going to be dark enough? Is it going to be gritty enough? Are we going to give the fans and the folks that this character means so much to, are are we going to give them what they deserve? Ending the quote right there, essentially just saying that, like, hey, I'm in it for the fans. Jon Bernthal is just a very wholesome actor all around, and very talented and phenomenal at the same time. He has, of course, appeared in a number of other movies and shows outside of the MCU, and Punisher is really a role that he really truly resigned with and cares about a lot. It's kind of like what Steve Rogers was and Captain America was to Chris Evans, essentially. It's kind of about being what is a legacy character in a way, and that Jon Bernthal isn't in it for necessarily the money. So it's very clear and cut that he wants something that is going to be gritty and dark compared to the Netflix show. He isn't going to want something that is necessarily Disney-fied. The article says and continues by saying that, so with Bernthal back on board for Born Again, and maybe now even his own Disney Plus spinoff, the Punisher seems to be in safe hands at Marvel Studios. Well, fingers crossed. Although that's not to say either show will be necessarily TVMA, which would be R-rated for TV, essentially. After all, there are plenty of ways to give off a dark tone without blood, swearing, and gore. This is something that kind of like the Secret Invasion kind of reminds me of, and yes, I know at the beginning of this video I kind of told you guys, like, I wouldn't be talking about Secret Invasion all that much in this video. We've been talking about it a lot here on the channel. However, kind of comparing what we could get for a new Disney Plus and also for a Born Again Punisher show that would be both on Disney Plus, it's something that doesn't necessarily need to have swearing and all that gore and those kind of more violent things that you would actually see. Instead, it could just have a more darker tone. Although, to be honest with you guys, as a Marvel fan and a big fan of Punisher and Jon Bernthal, I think that's something that takes away from the character of Punisher. The overall decision to frame Born Again as a quote-unquote soft reboot of Netflix's Daredevil has proven controversial, especially after the first character recast was confirmed. But the Punisher may be easier to reboot given that the show was far less popular. Not that that's a good thing, that's a bad thing if for anything. It's very underrated in my own thoughts and opinions, and didn't really have any side characters all that much that especially were beloved as much as Daredevil's Foggy and Karen, who would also hopefully appear in Born Again, but until then there's no official confirmation. And Kingpin's morale takeover in Daredevil Born Again is expected to spill out into impacting other and more MCU projects, both shows and movies, and all of our street level kind of heroes, including Spider-Man 4, something that we had also recently discussed here on the channel. With the Punisher now confirmed and White Tiger, something is very heavily rumored. It's something I haven't discussed here on the channel. For Daredevil and in that Born Again Disney Plus soft reboot, it's easy to see how this story could perhaps continue in its own projects. Thus essentially saying that, hey, the Born Again show can set up a lot and be like a spiral off, kind of how we saw for Netflix already, kind of spiraling off all these other Defender shows for Netflix, how it could set up for a Punisher Disney Plus show and a White Tiger Disney Plus show and the rest of the Defenders also. Anyway, of course, I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. What do you guys want to see with the new Punisher Disney Plus show? It's something that's rumored, take it with a grain of salt. What would you guys also want to see with Daredevil Born Again? I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Of course, this has been Unofficial MCU. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one, guys. Peace out.